What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today. It's the 17th day of January, and here we are finding a little bit of a move up today, this Saturday at $3,300, 7 hours, 51 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. Yesterday, we closed right here. That's where the closing price was, right at our prior closing high, right at prior resistance, right at prior support even. This area, 3,300, seems to be somewhat significant. So finding support here, moving up as we are now, I think is a play off of that significance and might signal that we are in fact ready to move higher. And I think that's exactly what's going on here, right? I mean, we look at this, however you want to slice it, this could be a symmetrical triangle, which it's a pretty appropriate pattern. It looks like a symmetrical triangle to me. Symmetrical triangles are notorious for fake outs too, and I think that's what you have here. Not here, just here. If it's not a symmetrical triangle, there is a very solid chance that this could be some type of a ascending triangle. Regardless of what it is or what it is not, you know, it's a W pattern, it's an Adam and Eve, whatever it might be. It's a bullish formation in all these kind of ways that we slice it. And I think that we are going to break out and prevail to the upside here. It looks as though the momentum is shifting to the upside, right? I mean, if we inverted this chart, I would think that we were about to plummet. It really does look bearish here, bullish here, right? I do expect that we'll recover. I do expect that we'll break out, and probably going into the end of this month, right? It is the 17th here. I would expect that this next week we do see a little bit of growth, probably up to this 38 to 4,000. Sorry, let's say $3,900 to $4,000 area, somewhere around there. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we were there by the end of this next week. And then maybe for the final week of January, we pull back a little bit, or we continue pushing higher. I do expect February to be a really good month. February could be the month where Ethereum sees new all-time highs. Maybe it's March. But I do think that the exciting part comes in February and March. And when I say the exciting part, I mean January's been exciting, right? Since the beginning of January here, we've only moved up. And we will likely move up higher by the end of January. I just think February will be more exciting. I think the pace will start to pick up that month. So from here to the end of the month, we should be somewhere between $3,900 to $4,000, if not higher. There is a strong chance that we actually do go all the way up to about $4,400, or should I say $4,300 or $4,600, somewhere in this range. And that chance comes from the fact that this is a giant W pattern here, that this is some type of Adam and Eve double bottom. If it is an Adam and Eve double bottom, you take the measure move, maybe it's an Eve and Eve, whatever it is, you take the measure move from the low to the high of the pattern, you put it right there at that focal point. That measure move would take you, I'm a little bit high there, there we go. We're in Colorado, we're a little bit high here. The 886 is what that would call for. That's at about $4,500, $4,600. Now I want to be very clear. If this is an Adam and Eve pattern, which it looks like it is, if it is an Adam and Eve, if it is a symmetrical triangle, if it is a W pattern, which I think any and all of those are, there are sensible, logical, reasonable measurements, and expectable price predictions that would come along with those patterns that would take us up to this area between about 43 to 4,600. There's really not a whole lot suggesting that we stop at 39 to 4,000. The only reason why we're giving any kind of notion to this at all, this area, is because it's the golden ratio. But we've said it before. It's the golden ratio, and that's significant. That is significant. But price action's more significant, I think. And most of our support came from below here. Resistance right there. That's a more significant area to me as far as price goes than this area is. This area has more significance to it too, because we've got resistance here, resistance there. You found support right here. You found resistance a lot right here, and some support right there, and some support right there. There's a lot more significance in this area than there is in this area, in my opinion. Just because it's my opinion, and just because I think that's a certifiable fact, doesn't mean that we have to break through the golden ratio. We very well could stop here, and statistically speaking, the most probable outcome, at least from here, would be that we do stop at the golden ratio. We pull back and then we continue higher. But whether we hit this, pull back, find support here, and then continue higher, and then we get here, or we just run right through it and then we stop here, I do expect that whether it's at the end of the month of January or the first half of February, we should be seeing prices that are deep into that $4,000 zone. I'm very much expecting that. I want to look at the short-term stuff now. zoom in and then zoom out, you can see that there's just really not a lot of volume at all. Volume's died off entirely. Now that it's Saturday, there's a complete lack in volume altogether. So even though we're moving up, even though it does look like we're kind of breaking out of this zone altogether, I'm not really impressed by it. I'm not wooed by it, and I won't be panicking or depressed if we pull back, because again, we've made this move from about 32.90 to 33.20 here, 33.26. We made this move without any volume at all. So we're on shaky grounds. That doesn't mean we have to pull back. That just means if we do pull back, I'm not really going to be freaking out. We really could continue going higher here. I want to look at the indicators and just see what we're coming up with. But this kind of look with this volume being on the weekend gives me fake out vibes, if you catch my drift, right? We're just above this high here. We went just above it. We're breaking out to the upside. It gives me fake out vibes. But maybe volume picks up. Maybe it does come in as we continue to move up. We don't actually need a lot of volume here for this to be a legitimate move, but it still gives me fake out vibes. 1 hour time frame, looking at the RSI, first and foremost, the RSI is bullish as hell. You can see that it's bullish as hell. We know that it's a bullish RSI because most of your life, most of the time from here to here, you have been above the 50. For a small bit of time, you were below the 50. You are getting overbought consistently. You're not getting oversold really at all, right? You look very, very bullish. The dominance is definitely shifted to the bulls, not to the bears. The stochastics are bullish as hell. And the MACD here, while you are below the zero, you're getting a cross up here and you're building bullish momentum, staving off that bearish momentum, getting a little bit of bullish divergence even. I mean, you look good. You look really good on your 1 hour, but it's the 1 hour. You look really good. This is what it got you. You know what I mean? It's not that impressive. 4 hour time frame again, and I'm talking like this because some people might be looking at this and they might be super impressed, saying, "Oh my God, this is the signal. This means we're going higher." But does it? Does it really? I mean, did it here whenever we broke out? Did it mean that we were going higher? Maybe we went lower first and then we went higher. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying. Even if we go lower from here, that doesn't absolve us of going higher. I'm just having doubts as to if this is a one fell swoop move here, but it could be. It could be. It's very possible that it could be. You know, maybe this is the beginning of a move just like this was here. And it takes us above all these highs. I don't know. The 4 hour RSI is very bullish for all the same reasons that we just listed on the 1 hour time frame. You're living above the 50. You're not really living below it. You're getting overbought consistently. You're not getting oversold. You have higher lows here. I mean, you look so good. You broke out of your uptrend. Oh, I didn't draw that line at all properly. You broke out. Why can't I draw a straight line? I mean, that's a pretty straight line. Let me just move it down. You broke out of this uptrend and you didn't even get oversold. The bulls are in control. Stochastics look bullish. I doubt you stop here. The MACD is bullish as well. I mean, maybe we do press on. Maybe we do continue higher. Perhaps this is an actual breakout. It's just got some low volume to it right now, and that's okay if that's the truth. High to low here, right at the 0.5. If we were to push higher, maybe 33.45, 33.55 hold us as resistance. If we break through that, there's a strong chance that we push on to 3,400, 3,500, and even beyond there. If we can break above like 33.50, let's say 33.57. Get above 3,000. I know it seems specific, but it's technical analysis for a reason. $3,357. Get above there on a 4 hour closing basis, and I will say at that point we are breaking out. We are valid, and we probably do continue up to 34.50, if not 3,500 or higher. And that would probably happen over the coming days. But again, and I'm not seeing it in the charts, I'm not seeing any indicators, I'm just using my own experience as a kind of guide here. I wouldn't be surprised if we pulled back. If we go up, cool. I'm not going to kick myself in the butt. We are expecting higher prices. Did you watch the whole first part of this video? We are fully expecting higher prices to $4,000 and beyond. I won't be sad at all if we don't get this pullback. But if it does happen, if we do pull back to, let's say, like 32.80, 32.90, 32.50, we go just below this low. If we did any of that, I wouldn't be surprised by it at all. But at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares what we do right here, right now? We are going up. We are going to see prices above $4,000 likely by the end of this month. So with that, does a move that's like less than $100, does that even matter? Probably not. Probably not. But still, I have an issue with wanting to try to be as accurate as possible. Even if I'm wrong, I will be wrong again. I don't have an issue being wrong. I just have an issue. What's the word I'm looking for? I want to try to be right. Right? I think that's the point. I don't have an issue being wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times. I'll be wrong plenty of times in the future. And I will always address whenever I'm wrong. I don't care. It's not an embarrassment. It's a fact of life. Everybody's going to be wrong at some point with technical analysis. Not a single analyst. The best analysts in the world are not right 90% of the time. You know what I mean? They have hot streaks, cold streaks. Um, that doesn't scare me being wrong, but I really do want to try to be understood correctly. I want to get my point across, my thoughts across, because if it is right, I want to outline that properly so that you guys can see where in my analysis I went right, so that you can do that yourselves, hopefully. I don't know. 3,300. I'm talking too much right now. Looking at the daily time frame, the RSI looks bullish overall. We do have a little bit of bearish divergence, right? Lower highs here, higher highs there, but that divergence has fulfilled itself. You've already gone below where the divergence started, so I think that that's fine. You're bouncing at this moment right here at the 60 or at the 63, which is fine. That's actually very, very bullish. Your RSI overall is very, very bullish as well, and the stochastics are bullish. The MACD is bullish. We have bearish divergence on all three of these indicators, but the bearish divergence already played out. So in this environment where we're not up high, right? We're not at crazy euphoric high levels. Ethereum just pumped through the roof and everybody's bullish and it's a time to sell, right? We're not at these points now. We're kind of at these depressed points where everybody's, it seems like the whole space is waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? Here's the first shoe. We're waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm not. I'm expecting that we move up, but I'm just speaking in generalities here. Maybe you're not expecting the other shoe to drop, but I just feel like in this space, it seems as though people here have their hopes that we'll move up higher, but there's a little bit of doubt as well, and they're waiting for the shoe to drop. All I'm trying to say by that is that with this bearish divergence in combination, I think people are looking for reasons to be bearish, reasons to sit on the sidelines, reasons to not FOMO in, and I think they're getting it here. But if they don't interpret it properly, if they don't understand the rules, this bearish divergence already played out. That's what this move was. From a high to a low, that's what that was. That was your bearish divergence. It played out already. Could we go lower? Sure, it could happen, but it played out already. You don't need to go lower. And in this kind of curious, nervous, unwilling environment, I think what's going to happen here, what's going to generate the most pain is not dropping, but pumping. Because again, most people I think are sidelined. And then people FOMO, and then that's whenever we drop, right? So anyways, that's just my theory. Anyways, I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. Thank you all for being here. Weekly time frame here. RSI looks phenomenal. It looks just like it did at every other significant low that we've had since 2022. Stochastics are beautiful. Again, we've been in this environment before where where the stochastics are oversold coming out of the oversold zone. The RSI was at the 40 or below the 40. Every single one of those moments, right, where the RSI has been below the 40 and the stochastics are oversold here, below the 40. Same thing here, same thing right here. Every single one of these moments has directly correlated with low points in the price. And we can keep going back and the answer is the same. Over years of data, we've got that going on now. It's abundantly clear that we're at the lows, at least from my perspective, but in layman's terms, we're still at this low point. The other shoe could drop. So I think, again, we're going to move up faster than people are expecting. This is really why I think we could see that $4,400 to $4,600 target area. And then at that point, that'll generate FOMO. Then everybody panic buys. They get in at the wrong time. That's when we'll correct. That's when the quote-unquote the other shoe will drop. We'll probably pull back to these areas to find support and then continue to rally going into February and March. I don't have anything else that I want to say. I'm going to end it there. If you guys like the video, hit the like button. Thank you all. Take care. Bye.